Hey, this is Steve at Priority Bicycles, and today we're going to go over how to fix a rear flat on your Priority Start 16-inch. First thing we're going to want to do before we flip the bike over is disengage the rear brake. So to disengage the rear brake, all we're going to want to do is squeeze both of these brake arms together and pull the silver noodle out of the cage on the rear brake. Then you let those guys go, and the wheel is all free to go. So once your rear brake is disengaged, we're ready to flip the bike over and start working on that flat. So we're just gonna flip this guy over and just be careful and place it down gently so we don't scratch up the seat or the handlebars. From there, we grab our 15mm open-ended wrench and loosen the egg cord nuts on the rear wheel. You just wanna thread those off. You don't have to take them off completely, just enough so that you can take off the wheel later. Loosen those guys, and you can toss your 15 to the side, grab your 17mm wrench, and undo the 17mm bolts on the axle. And again, you don't have to take these all the way off. Do the exact same on the other side. Then once all your axle bolts are loosened up, we can grab our 4mm Allen key and start loosening the belt tension so we can get that wheel out. So to do that, we just insert the 4mm Allen key into these belt tension bolts right at the dropout, and turn them counterclockwise, maybe 4 or 5 turns. Do the same on both sides, and you'll notice the slack in the belt once the wheels start to get loose. Once there's a good amount of slack in your belt, you can just push that right off the front chainring and pull the wheel straight back, and it'll free itself from the bike. Once we have the wheel free from the bike, we can start by unscrewing this valve cap, placing it to the side. Then we can take our tire lever and go to the exact opposite end of where the valve is and start to pry the tire off of the rim. So you just stick it right in there and pry one lip of the tire outside of the rim. And once that's to the outside, we just move this tire lever around the rim completely to free up that side of the tire. Once that guy's all freed up, we can go reach in there and grab the tube and pull it out. Toss that guy to the side. Then grab your rag and pull your tire completely off the rim. Take your rag and run it through the inside of the tire to make sure that there's no debris stuck in the tire that'll puncture your new tube. Once you're all clear, you can take your tire and start to put it back on the wheel. You'll notice that on the tread there are little arrows, and that'll be directional kind of thing, so they'll face towards the front of the bike. Take one lip of the tire and place it over the rim. Make sure it gets all the way in there. And you'll have one side so it's loosely kind of hanging on in there. Grab your new tube and add a little bit of air just so that it takes shape. Makes your installation a little bit easier. So once there's a little bit of air in there, we can start by inserting the tube on the valve inside the valve hole on the rim, pushing it all the way through, pull that tire right over the tube. Then you can feed the tube all the way into the tire and just rock it back a little bit to make sure that the tube gets seated in the rim. Once it's all seated, you just press up on this valve and seat the tire right around the tube, and then use your thumbs to press the tire in all the way around. Once it snaps into place, just go around and press it in so that it seats inside the rim. And then we can start adding air to the tire. Place your pump head right over the valve and pull this lever down so that it locks around the valve, and start adding air. These guys are gonna need around 40 PSI. Once you're at 40, press this lever down and pull the pump head off. And you're ready to reinstall the wheel on the bicycle. Take your wheel and wrap the belt right around your cog again. Insert your axle right into the dropouts, and then wrap your belt around the front chainring. Grab your 4mm wrench and add a little bit of tension to both sides until your wheel is straight and your belt tension is at around 50 Hertz using the Gates belt tension app. Once we're at around 50 Hertz, we can start by grabbing our 17mm wrench and tightening down our axle bolts again. On both sides, just make sure that wheel is centered. Tighten these guys down and do the exact same on the other side. Grab your 15mm open-ended wrench and tighten down your egg cord nuts. So from there, you're all fixed up and you're ready to flip this guy back over and re-engage the rear brake. So we're just gonna flip this guy, squeeze these two arms together again, and place the noodle right inside of its cage. Put that cover back over and you're all set. Please shoot us an email if you have any questions at info@prioritybicycles.com.